Taxi drivers of Reddit. Have you ever had anyone jump in your car and yell, "Drive? What did you do?" Yeah, happened to me last month on a Tuesday night around 2 a.m. I was parked outside this upscale steakhouse in downtown, waiting for the bar crowd, when suddenly, my back door flies open, and this woman in a torn cocktail dress jumps in screaming, "Just drive! Please, just drive!" I look in my rearview mirror and see this guy in an expensive suit sprinting toward my cab. Something about the way she said it made me lock the doors and floor it. I'm not waiting around to ask questions when someone's that terrified. She's completely losing it in the back seat, hyperventilating, mascara running down her face, hands shaking so bad she can't even buckle her seatbelt. I ask if she needs a hospital or if I should call the cops. She just keeps shaking her head no and begs me to keep driving. After a few minutes, she finally catches her breath and starts explaining. She'd been on a Tinder date at that restaurant I picked her up from. The guy seemed completely normal at first. Good conversation, made her laugh, asked about her job as a nurse. She said she was actually having a decent time for once. Then the waiter brings over the menu, and the guy immediately takes it from her. He tells the waiter they'll both have the filet mignon, the lobster tail appetizer, and orders this $300 bottle of wine without even asking what she wanted. She tried to say she's vegetarian, but he just waved her off and said, "Trust me, you'll love it." Red flag, but she figured maybe he's just trying to impress her. Expensive taste, whatever. The food comes, and she barely touches it because she literally doesn't eat meat. The whole time he's going on about his finance job and his car and his apartment like he's reading from a script. Then the check comes. $680 for both of them. He doesn't even look at it, just slides it directly across the table to her side and says, with this completely straight face, "Since you're so into equality and feminism, you can pay your half." She actually laughed at first because she thought he was joking. He wasn't joking. He leaned forward, put his phone face down on the table, and told her in this ice-cold voice that she wasn't leaving that restaurant until she paid $340. She said, "Excuse me, I didn't order any of this." He smiled and said, "But you ate it, didn't you?" She looks down and realizes she'd had a few bites just to be polite. He's got her trapped. She pulls out her phone to call someone, and he puts his hand over hers and says, "I wouldn't do that if I were you." Very calmly, very quietly. That's when she knew she had to get out. She excuses herself to the bathroom. He says, "Fine, but your purse stays here." So she leaves everything, her bag, her phone, all of it, and just walks toward the bathroom. The second she's out of his sight, she bolts for the exit. That's when she spots my cab and jumps in. I'm hearing all this while driving, and I'm thinking this guy needs to be in jail. She hesitates because she's embarrassed and thinks they won't believe her. I tell her I'm a witness now. I saw him chasing her, and we're going to the station. We get there around 2:30 a.m., and the cop at the front desk takes one look at her and immediately gets serious. She explains everything, describes the guy, names the restaurant. The cop stops her mid-sentence and says, "Was he about 6 feet tall, brown hair, wearing a Rolex?" Her jaw drops. Turns out I'm the one who brought in victim number 7. Same guy, same restaurant, same exact scam. He'd been doing this for 5 weeks straight. His pattern was meeting women on dating apps, taking them to that specific restaurant because he knew the owner, ordering the most expensive items on the menu, then intimidating them into paying their half. The cop said he'd racked up nearly $8,000 in forced bills across 6 other women. Most of them were too scared or embarrassed to report it. One woman actually paid the $340 just to get away from him. They pulled up his dating profile right there on the computer, active on 4 different apps, all using slightly different photos and names. The detective told her they'd been building a case but needed more victims to come forward. She agreed to press charges. They sent a unit to the restaurant that same night and arrested him in the parking lot. He still had her purse in his car. 3 days later, I get a Venmo notification for $100. The message said, "You literally saved me from paying for a meal I didn't want and a date I'll never forget. Thank you for believing me." Last I heard, he got hit with 6 counts of extortion and fraud. Apparently threatening someone to pay a bill they didn't agree to is a felony. His court date's next month, and all 7 women are showing up to testify.